Welcome to BRICS Africa Channel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Joining us today.
Yeah.
It must be one of those proud moments for you. Another exhibition, what does it mean to you?
Absolutely. We're always very proud to exhibit here at the Africa Rail Conference that happens annually in South Africa. But more importantly, it allows PRASA to showcase the progress that we have made over the last few years. Also share openly what some of the challenges are and some of the plans that we have in terms of the future.
And your program, we were speaking earlier to Mo, the CEO of Gibela. You seem to found a good partner. Tell us more of what's happening within the coaches and the trains that they make for you guys.
Absolutely. That is one of our flagship projects. We appointed the Gibela Consortium to manufacture 600 trains for PRASA. And very importantly, that factory reverts to PRASA at the end of this contract. As you're aware, there is a decision taken by the African Union that South Africa becomes the rolling stock manufacturing hub for the continent and beyond. And this factory becomes critical, that we now have the skills, the capacity to build trains here in South Africa. These trains, not only are they built in South Africa, we've also ensured that the local content within these trains are sourced locally and not imported from across the world. So those are some of the key things we've put in place. You've seen many young men and women that are working in this factory that have been skilled within the field of rolling stock, mechanical engineering, electrical fitting, and so forth. And therefore, it's one that we are very proud of, not only as PRASA, but as the country.
Based on this AU decision, how well is PRASA positioned to at least roll around the SADC region to start with?
Well, there's a couple of points I'd like to make. Firstly, we need to do a lot more work to ensure that this thing can be rolled out successfully. We've obviously started engaging with many of our partners on the SADC region. PRASA and myself, I also serve as a board member on SARA, that is the Southern African Rail Association, where all the SADC rail operators convene. So it's an ideal opportunity to share what opportunities there are that we have, that we can offer. We've shared not only in terms of the new rolling stock fleet that we are manufacturing, but even our existing fleet, where we've got surplus requirements. There are also opportunities to run those trains in Africa. They're still operational. They've still got useful lifespan that we can deal with. And those are the discussions we are having. But as I've mentioned, a lot more work needs to be done in terms of ensuring not only do we now have the manufacturing facility, but you need to have the right structures in place to ensure you can execute those decisions. So one of the things that the Minister launched in October last year was a request for information from the private sector, specifically on rolling stock, looking at the management, leasing of rolling stock in the future. And we're looking forward to see the feedback that we get, to analyze that feedback that will help us structure some engagement going forward around the establishment of rolling stock companies.
And what was the uptake from the private sector? Are they coming on board? What's happening there?
Yes, I've received feedback that there's been quite a bit of interest on, that's only one of the projects. There were 5, and across the board there's been interest expressed in all of them. As I said, we're busy analyzing that. The next step would be, coming out of that process, is actually then approaching the market for proposals around this. So I think we've got something to work on. It's certainly an exciting development within the passenger rail space, and it's something that PRASA is looking forward to spearhead. Yeah.
For money managers, whether in Egypt, Ethiopia, and other BRICS countries, obviously are the opportunities for private sector and those localities to come and join you in this vision?
You know, what we have seen, and I mean recently I was in Tanzania, where we had one of our SARA board meetings. And one thing is clear, is that there is certainly a revival and modernization of rail on the continent, including the northern African countries that you have mentioned. I'm presenting later, and one of the projects I've been very excited about is some of the high-speed rail projects you see in Morocco and in the rest of in Egypt and the rest of the continent. But even in Tanzania, the standard gauge rail developments that we have seen. And this is all testament to the fact that it's been acknowledged and recognized that rail, the importance of rail within cities, within the countries, for the economic growth of this region. We've had quite a bit of discussion around interconnectivity between the countries. So certainly I think going back to the AU, as you would be aware, the Agenda 2063 talks about a high-speed railway line connecting the continent. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. I think it is not a case where it's South Africa or others. It's a continent that needs to come together. We can learn from our neighboring countries and vice versa. The countries that you mentioned in Morocco, certainly on the high-speed rail, some very good lessons that we can take in South Africa.
I see your activation seems to want to attract a lot more young people. I've seen you in the stadiums, going to the soccer games, and moving people to. I think there was one with close to Cape Town on the
Yes.
on the
Yes.
all the way to Simonstown.
Yeah.
Tell us more about this attraction of young people back into rail.
So that's a very good question, and I like that one, because one of the things we are deliberate about is taking rail to the people. It is not only about commuting. It's not only about getting to work. There are other trip purposes, whether it is recreation, whether it is leisure, whether it is tourism. That is what we offer as PRASA. And as you correctly point out, we've been partnering with many sporting codes. It's been very successful, whether it's been the big soccer, football matches, the rugby matches, which is currently underway. Just this weekend, we transported many spectators to Ellis Park to watch the South Africa play England. So there are many of these things. Cricket, like I said, the football, even athletics, even your concerts that you have, your arts and culture events that we have, and it's exposed a new, if I can call it, potential new rail users. And the feedback that we have got has been overwhelmingly positive. Yes, we still got more work to do, but this is about it. As you mentioned, we want to get the young onto our trains. If you were to join me, I know it's school holidays in South Africa, but if you were to join me during the school term, you would see we've got scholars on our train. We've got special coaches dedicated for scholars, as young as grade 1, grade 2, and we've got the physical security, the CCTV on the trains that are protecting our passengers. So it's a very exciting time. You heard today from our shareholder, we need to grow this passenger trips on the railways. We've seen significant growth in the last 2 or 3 years, but we've got a lot more that we want to grow within PRASA.
CEO, thank you for joining us on BRICS Africa Channel.
Thank you so much, Ayanda.